No star in Princess Kazayah this time. So, we wash our hands. This is important, PJ. Make it suds up. Get it everywhere in between, under the nail. And you're going to feed people. You don't want to go in their mouth.
Yeah, man, that's true.
Not saying I got dookie on my hands. But
Okay.
just saying, man. There's bacteria, all type of stuff out here, man. So people, tonight we're just going to make some American culture, what do you call it? Like
loaded spaghetti.
Yeah, but it's
Ital
American culture food, see? Which is
Ital.
spaghetti. Cause we grew up in America too, you know?
Yeah.
Mainly. So, we're gonna put green pepper, hot pepper, Scotch bonnet pepper, green beans, black bean as another protein, coconut milk. We got a coconut. We're not making coconut milk today. We don't have a blender, but we got this, which is cream the coconut. We got sauce that's nice. You check the ingredients, you know. You make sure it's all gravy based, you know. Onions, curry. I guess she has a little garlic powder. I don't think she's gonna use all of this, but mainly this.
Yeah, man.
Sponsorship.
Yeah, man. Have it at home now.
Yes,
no one use it.
Oh,
see?
you
Yeah, man, not true.
We get some time because we don't have any fresh time in this place. Onion powder, same way. We don't need that. Basil. Very important. If you don't have fresh basil, just keep the basil for the spaghetti vibes, you know?
That's turmeric from the
Oh, this is turmeric, not curry. Turmeric. See?
Yeah,
So she's gonna wash these vegetables because they put a lot of stuff on them, even when they say that they don't.
yeah, and you can see me filming in the mirror. I just realized I can see it.
Yeah?
Oh yeah.
That's cool. Oh, come over here then. I can do that all over again.
No.
Okay.
I mean, like it organic. You know?
It's alright.
So
Because that is very picky with the vegetables she chooses.
Yeah, man.
So her election process is different from mine.
You just grab and chop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
These that mommy? Put them in a plastic?
No.
Okay, I'll rinse. So I'm gonna just turn on the water and rinse it.
Usually do it
The people that's getting it, they just care about how they can make it for themselves. So they're gonna watch every step.
We'll love to watch it and get out even the little bugs that like to hide in it. And you never know what was on the processing plant's knife or conveyor belt or whatever. The next thing you know, you eat and then your vision gets blurry and then you have a headache and then you realize that you just mash up. It happened to me. It happened to me a couple times when I was driving Uber. Y'all think it's a joke? I drive Uber. I'll tell everybody a story since it's candid camera.
Yeah, man, we love it so.
I drive an Uber to make some dunza for I movements, you know? And I used to go to this grocery store and get cut fruit. I don't know what they used to do with the cut fruit or where or how they used to cut it. All I know is that sometimes I used to get like these oranges and it would taste good, but then when I eat it, man, like after like it started, you know, live gesting, I start to get blurry vision, like I can't see right in front of me, but I can't see, you know what I mean? Like my peripheral vision gone.
I do remember that.
And I used to get them a lot, and it was every time I used to eat that thing. So, funny enough, I eating the fruits, my peripheral vision gone. I have to pull over the car, and then I had to sit still and just like breathe because then a wicked headache licked down upon me, my vision blurry. And so when the lights from other cars shine in my eye, I was like, man, I can't see something look like this in the car. I'll mash up. And then one time I did this, I was like, you know. And then one time I check it, it's like my stomach a roll. Man, one of the time I think I got through the little fire for like 45 minutes. I was sitting there in the fire trying to eat ginger and thing. And the belch, and like a release was there, like a gas release. But I still had a headache, but like my vision started to come back a little bit. And then I get for real, my stomach calmed down, and I was like, maybe my body just deal with it. But, you know, something with the oranges, either they was fermenting, because they were a little tangy a little bit. You know, some of the time, I guess they use probably older oranges to sell to the people.
Yeah, man.
You know, the cut thing, you know?
Yeah, man. That's how they cut down the discount rate or something.
Something,
man,
man, you know? So, I know that something happened, and I had to just, like, pull over, like, and this happened to me a couple times from one store. And I just realized that it wasn't no good for I, so I stopped eating it. But I know that that's how the food poisoning is. If it's serious, like if you're gonna have some type of food sickness, at some point your vision's you're gonna feel like you're gonna pass out at some point, and then maybe you will pass out because you get poisoned. Mm-hmm. So it's not a joke when you're saying wash off certain thing, because those oranges were cut already and put in a plastic. Who cut them? I don't know. What type of things was around on the plastic? I don't know. What was on the cutting boards? I don't know. It was the orange new or old? I don't know. So them thing that we wash with vegetable them, even though sometimes the pesticides sink in at them if it's not organic, but we still wash it to get off that first layer, and also to try and get off the wax, because a lot of peppers, apples, and those things they spray them with wax.
Yeah. So a good thing to do is like a ABC wash too. You soak them in apple cider vinegar, water, and a little bit of baking soda. You can do that for your locks too. If you got build up. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
If you have that stuff, it'll make all the stuff that's on there, you know, just rise to the top. You know? Hey. We don't have the AC. We don't have that right now.
Yeah, we in the gully style. Like, this is guerrilla chefings right now. Yeah. Like PJ catch us every time with guerrilla chefings. Yes, PJ behind the camera. No, you saw him last time in the mirror. Yeah. But yeah, he just want to know how we eat, and he said to share it with the world, you know? So we're just trying to share how we eat with the world. Not saying we're perfect or we're authority on natural eating and healthy eating. This is just how we doing it.
Well, he's going to say that I'm always for him to do it, because I know how many DMs that I get and how many messages I get from you guys saying, hey, I want to know how to do this. I want to know Rasta food. I want to know. So this is a look inside of it.
It's like Rasta food made in America.
Yeah.
Because
make what you have type.
Yeah, this is a make what you have type thing, and you know we grew up in America. This is very important, because more time you have some Rasta, they might not agree that this is like Ital, which is granted, because we didn't farm it. Ital is really like you farmed it. You put it on the table, you wash it. If you're eating veggie chunks, you made the veggie chunks. If you're eating a veggie burger, you made the actual burger. If you're eating like a veggie steak thing, you made it. It's not nothing that you bought from Morning Star or Boca or you know, whoever else. You know, you made it. Even if it was like tofu. Tofu is not technically Ital unless you make the tofu out of the soybean, you know? So the vibe is that Ital is just very, very, very like probably one of the heights of holistic eating, and it has to do with more than just cooking and eating. It's like a whole way of life to it. So that's why, to give you a little history, when the Rastafari, you know, faithful I'm gonna call them, was first coming out, they weren't as loved as they were today. So our ancestors, who was a part of the Rastafari energy, who was manifesting it, they had to go away from society, like go into the hills per se, because they were facing discrimination and persecution for just being the way they wanted to be and to be free from, you know, captivity of the mind. And that was because they were in a post-colonial era, which was it's a colonial era, but a post-slavery era. So what happened is that in that time, growing a beard wasn't acceptable. Growing natty dreadlocks was not acceptable. You know, looking certain way, talking certain way, and thinking certain ways was not acceptable. So Rasta had to leave the inner cities more time, and go out into the bush, man, and manifest life. So in the bush, there wasn't as much accessibility to everything as it is in modern civilization. So it breeded the ground, or it breeded circumstances for like Ital food to come about, which is not really like something new. It's just they had to tap into their roots because they step out. And in the bush, you have tree stone fire. You make your wood fire, you put your tree stones down, you get your pot or whatever you're gonna try and cook in, Sometimes you don't even have a pot. You gotta use an earth oven and roast it. You know, so that's the next level of things.
Countryman is a good.
Yeah, check Countryman. He roasts up everything tonight with no pot, no nothing. Just a riverside.
Yeah.
That's it.
You can find it on YouTube.
I was just gonna say,
YouTube
find
Countryman, the
Yeah.
movie from like 1984 or
It's a
so.
dope movie.
And it's about a couple landing in Jamaica, crash landing in Jamaica, and a Rasta man take care of them. That's all I'm sharing. Yeah, man. And it's a very good movie because it shows you about Rastafari and mystics and interconnection with self and nature.
Yes, sir.
And through that, it connected to all. So it's a real good movie, which kind of show that. But
Country.
as you see here, like she dicing and slicing, you know.
What all do we have here? Just so one to know. Let's get in.
Green pepper, bell pepper, green pepper, same thing. Cilantro, cause we love cilantro. Most people don't put cilantro in spaghetti. This is us. Onion, cause we love onion too. We're from the Great Onion. We live in Chicago. We're based in Chicago, so we eat the onion same way. And garlic too gonna go in here. You have garlic, Mama?
Yeah, I didn't get there.
Okay, cool. And next thing is green beans, like the string beans one. You know, not green peas, but green beans.
Beans.
Yeah. There you go. These are good for the heart and everything, man. You know, they're just green. Anything green.
It make me not hear that. Greens or beans good for the heart. The more you eat them, the more you fart.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. You know, I like that one because when I first started eating beans, I fart until that kingdom come.
Yeah.
And then now it's like my body just get the enzyme and me good now. Like me change over, so we feel good. But to finish that thing, man. Enough of the food we eating. Why I was mentioning the big history about Rastafari going into the hills, you know, and even back to the slave plantations when our ancestors used to rebel and go back to the hills, they had to cook certain way and eat certain way because it was what was available to them. So a lot of Ital liberty came from having to live in the bush. So I'm gonna eat breadfruit that's in the bush. I'm gonna eat mangoes, bananas, and apples that's in the bush. I'm gonna eat certain herbs that's in the bush. I'm gonna eat roots that's in the bush like cassava and yam and you know, other little roots, even ginger, even other things, you know, because those things was available. It wasn't tofu and, you know, vegan patties and TVP and tempeh and no, and it wasn't no weird name they either, like, oh, get these vegan chicken wings. That wasn't even in the reality at the time. It was just like, yo, we're gonna cook up some spice, no salt. There's herbs and plants and vegetable and boilers or earth provisions, and we're gonna eat it, you know. So right now, what we're doing is taking Italian American dish.
I don't know if you showed them the salt.
Oh, I didn't.
The only time I use the salt is just put a little bit in the water for the spaghetti. I don't actually use it in the pot.
You see some man with sister probably burn fire on her for that, but
it's
cool.
sea
It's
salt,
cool. It's cool. It's cool.
you know.
I'm just showing you the levels to the thing.
Moderation for everything.
Yeah, man, but we're not claiming or professing to be anything but ourselves. And so we're just showing how I and I keep it balanced for our own liberty, you know? So this dish is Italian American dish, spaghetti with tomato sauce.
Do we have oil?
Maybe not. And I know I was watching that oil in them. We got shea butter.
No.
Alright.
No.
We got coconut oil.
We do? Alright. Well.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
we do. And so this Italian American dish, as I was saying, is getting remixed. So that's why we add cilantro. And we add a couple things and scotch bonnet pepper.
Call it loaded too.
Yeah, and she called it a loaded spaghetti.
Because I put black beans in the sauce.
Yeah, we don't use like meat. So it's like we don't have in ground beef or ground chicken or ground turkey.
Which is what they use a lot of times up here.
Which is normal for this dish, spaghetti and meatballs, right?
Yeah, true.
Spaghetti and meatballs. I know everybody know that one.
But
Where
isn't
you're
it
watching.
technically an Italian dish?
Yeah, but the way that they cook it on here, so it makes
it's
it
different.
Yeah, it's not like Italian spaghetti.
I learned that pizza even
Is
the way
it-
it's completely
yeah,
different
fireball.
than how they do.
So
I did hear that.
it's different than over there than it is over here. So that's why I'm kind of like Italian American. If I'm wrong, y'all could correct us and send PJ's
Comments.
vibe.
There we
man.
go.
Yeah,
We learning too.
Yeah,
You
that's
see,
true.
we learning too. But see, she have the garlic, and what she do, she kind of getting that garlic
Yeah,
nice.
I squeeze it so the flavors and the juices can come. Then
You
I
remember
dice
this
it.
technique from the last episode.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. So it's just how we do it.
A
I'll
lot
go
of
for the
the
oil, yeah?
ingredients, if you see, it's still the ingredients from the last episode too. So
Yeah,
it's kind of
man.
the base you see.
Cause that cook like every time,
Yeah,
veggie.
man, true.
Yeah, onion, garlic, scotch bonnet or habanero if you can get that. Bell pepper,
What I had to settle for.
cilantro, base for anything I'm cooking. I think like everything.
You know, I went to maybe like 4 different markets looking for Scotch bonnet. Never found nothing, so I finally just went with the habanero.
Yeah, man. You're most likely not gonna find like actual Scotch bonnet. So
I realized because I was asking some of the employees, and they was just the
Lost?
face. Yeah, their face is like, huh?
what?
What are you talking?
Yeah, I remember that happened one time. I went to the store. My father actually sent me to the grocery store, and he told me to go pick up some chocho, right? Are you familiar with chocho? It's a light green. They call it something else, but it's a part of the story. So I went to the store, and I was like, "Hey, I'm looking for chocho." They're like, "What?" I'm like, "Chocho, it's green."
They thought you were
and
talking about
yeah,
a person.
light green, and then it has it kind of looks like that, the front of it, but they call it like coyote or something like that. So it's a whole different name that it's called. It was a tweak, but
That's how it happens.
So I can ask you a quick question.
Sure, not that one.
Okay, so we're gonna put a pause. We showed you the preparation. We're gonna put a pause, and then we'll come forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Okay,
So I just pretty much just put all the vegetables that I had cut up. So like the basics I was saying, the onion, cilantro, bell pepper, scotch bonnet, garlic, mushroom, green beans, all of that is in there. And I use some of these seasonings here, like the spike, turmeric, the thyme, some basil. Yeah, so I'm just gonna let it, sit there and marinate a little bit.
did you throw a little oil in the pan?
I did, and it wasn't a lot. It's just like enough to kind of cover the bottom,
Stir fry the thing.
Yeah,
Like a skillet.
yeah, man. So I just gonna let it sit. Actually, what I need to do now is add the black beans.
Oh yeah, that's when you add it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the black beans washed and strained. Cause like I said, it's on the go, so we're using canned.
Yeah, we didn't boil these ones like
Yeah.
last time when we told you.
If you're gonna do hard beans, just make sure you can soak them for at least 5 hours for an easy cook.
And boil them.
If you want it to be cooked, like say you're going to work, just
Put them in the
soak
crock
them.
pot.
Yeah, man. Or just in some water for 5 hours.
Yeah, bless the eye.
At least 5 hours. Get them soft by the time you come home. Like 30, maybe less than 30 minutes to just whip it up. But if you can, to do that, it's gonna take like an hour and a half, 2 hours, depending on the type of bean or pea it is.
Now, just to interrupt her, this is the spaghetti we're using. It's just a brand. We look at the ingredients. We don't have a particular brand. We're not here
Not
endorsing.
endorsing. No.
We just
Unless
use.
y'all wanna print that.
Yeah, that's say,
Well,
say it one more
simply
time.
nature. Simply nature. We like this organic style.
Yeah,
See?
man.
Pasta made from 100% durum wheat semolina. I don't know what that means, y'all. Tell you the truth, I ain't gonna lie. So, but this pasta looked pretty decent for the store we was able to go to, and it's good, You just make sure it doesn't have nothing in it. They say may contain traces of egg, and I know that's because it's probably in a processing plant with other pastas that contain egg. But at the end of the day, like I said, I'm not claiming nothing, man. I'm just trying to live good and eat vegan and eat Ital and 2 different things, but still eat good and healthy most of all. So we're gonna boil these, and then we're gonna eat soon. But in the water, she put a little oil in the water as well as a little bit of salt, like a small little pinch.
Yeah, and the oil in the water helps to keep the noodles separated.
And sweet.
So they don't
Oh my
clump up,
gosh. And they make it like, if you cook it to the right place, you get the right firm texture of noodle and separation. Yo, Teacher Kazayah.
It's a science, you know.
Bless up the massive man.
So we're just gonna put the noodles in right now.
Simply nature.
Yeah, man.
Send on the full dust mint. We're not any. Just full dust. You can keep it coming.
Ooh. Well, there. Oh,
That's enough?
yeah. Just the trio, right?
So far.
Well. That should be good.
Next time we'll make some callaloo for y'all or something, man. That one's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, we did some boil up the other day. I'm gonna miss it. But next time, man. Cause boil up is now the Rasta man food for real, for real.
Alright, so I'm gonna put some tomato sauce.
This is Rasta man food tonight, though.
Spaghetti
That I know.
Alright.
She shake it up good to mix up him. This one's spicy because we love spice. You see, we put all type of pepper and spice and coconut.
Alright. Then,
So
I use coconut milk in it. But what I do, sometimes I'll just put it in the bottle because I add water.
Yeah.
So you know what's going on.
And then get the rest of that sauce out. Coconut milk helps to lower the acidity of the tomato. Because tomato is an acidic plant, you know, fruit. It's a fruit for those who don't know. You need a fresh one?
Yeah.
Yeah, tomatoes are fruit for those who don't know. Because it has seeds. And it's like an apple, you know?
Again, I don't really, I don't too measure things.
Just feel it out.
Y'all remember that from episode 1. We don't do
Yeah, man, just feel it out.
Yeah, man.
Only if you're doing like a specific meal. Like,
Yeah,
you
and if
need
you're
to
not
be-
sure, just do little at a time
And then add as you go.
and then add. Yeah, exactly.
As Wadadah referenced before, when the brothers was in the bush, they didn't have a measuring cup.
I don't know. They're just using their
Yeah.
eyeball
So,
and their
yeah.
tongue because that is giving you the vibes.
So pretend you're in the bush, just in case you ever in that situation in life.
She gonna mix it, you know. It looks a little weird, but just watch how it comes to life. She's mixing a little scary right now, but you know,
I am.
come on, I can't play with it. Sometimes,
Yeah, you see it
I be
coming
doing
down.
something because I talk some type of thing sometimes, and it be touching her buttons. But I still love her, y'all. Make that go and bubble and a cuddle, and then we soon eat some Rastaghetti.
Alright, so I just dropped in some, I forgot to tell you guys, sorry, some spinach. So it's half a bag of spinach, where I have it somewhere, I'll show you. Half a bag, and I just put it on top because it's going to be done. I just let it simmer for like 10 minutes. And then, yeah. The spaghetti's ready. So what I'm doing now is just draining it. I put a little bit of water in the pot. I mean, not water, I'm sorry. I put a little oil in the pot just to coat the noodles a little bit. And then we're going to be ready to eat.
Yes, sir. I'll show you the finished product. So now you see the whole process. You'll see the finished product. Yeah, man. So when you finish your recipe, it should look something like this. You have your noodles put on the side, put it together, and you have, what do we call it now?
Asian spaghetti.
Asian spaghetti. Yeah, man. We didn't change the name.
Real talk. I'm gonna add a little bit more. Go on though. Don't catch this.